I feel bad. Do you want to take a seat?
No, I'm good. What's your first name?
My name is James.
James.
Yeah.
And what brings you to park today? That looks like a beautiful seat, by the way.
It's man, I never find parking down there.
Yeah,
right?
I hear you.
So I always see this, and I never actually take advantage of the high sides.
Uh-huh.
So I was like,
Well, I saw you up there, and I thought, now there's an interesting person to talk to.
yeah, you know, just got to beat the system any way you can nowadays.
Yeah, you have got it, James.
Yeah,
absolutely. You've got a beautiful perch.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What goes on in your life?
I build houses. I'm a framer.
Oh, okay.
You know, so the area here is developing quite a
Oh
bit.
man, business is up, huh?
Business is boom.
It's got to be crazy. I'm surprised you got the afternoon off.
Yeah, right? Well, you know, to be honest, I kind of played a little hooky today. I was
Okay.
like, you know, I kind of had some problems with some food last night, and
Oh yeah.
it worked out.
I've had that excuse a few times on my resume too.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it worked out, and here we are.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice truck you got here.
Yeah. No, this is my rig. This is my daily. You know, all my tools for
Yeah.
framing, and yeah, it works great.
So 4-day weekend coming up.
4-day week.
3-day weekend, I guess.
Hopefully.
Well, for you it's 4.
Well, hopefully we end up getting it off. You know.
Oh
So
yeah. Construction, you never know.
Yeah, work is work. So
Yeah.
whenever it's there, it's there.
So to be a framer, do you take classes for that, or you learn it on the job?
You can, but generally most guys, if you don't have any prior experience, you kind of start in as a laborer, you know?
Okay.
You kind of just learn the ropes, moving material, learning the differences between a 2x4 and a 2x6.
Okay.
And once
And then you
get,
say to the boss, hey, I'd like to be a framer.
yeah, you know, once you get to a certain point, if he believes that you're capable of not messing up cuts and you can take good measurements, then
Mhm.
he'll put a saw in your hands and he'll say, okay, this is the number I want you to cut, and I want you to cut exactly that.
Gonna give you a chance.
And he'll give you a shot.
And
Yeah.
you did well.
Prior to doing framing, I did hardwood flooring for 2
Oh,
years.
okay.
So I already had some background already.
Uh-huh.
And before I did carpentry, I did welding. And so...
Well, you got the whole gamut going there of the construction trade.
yeah, man, I went full bore into it.
Yeah.
Originally, I went to University of Houston. I'm from Houston, Texas.
Okay.
originally. Yeah, and it just came to where I just hated it. I hated the whole system.
Yeah.
It felt like a money gouge from day one.
Yeah,
And I felt like from high school to college, I just traded one desk for another.
yeah. Oh, interesting.
And you know, one day my buddy, he showed up to class with a brand new truck. And I was like, oh man, okay, what do you got going on, man?
Yeah.
And he told me that he started doing welding. And I was like, all right, well, if he can do it and he can't talk to chicks, I can do it.
And he's got a brand new truck.
He's got a brand new
And
truck.
I'm not going to have a new truck for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, at least, if that. And most of my friends now, that was when I was 19, I'm 26 now. And, you know, most of them graduated, thank goodness, but they graduated with, you know, X amount of money in debt
Yeah,
and still trying to find their ideal job.
I hear you.
You know, and so
A lot of people run around $80,000 in debt,
easily.
and they're doing line cooks because they can't
Right.
find a job in
Yeah.
psychology or whatever.
Yeah, and it's not that there's nothing wrong with that profession, but that's not what they signed up for. in the
Not
first
for
place.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so originally past that, I was like, okay, well, I started doing welding, and I wasn't ready, to be honest. I didn't have any background in it,
Yeah.
but I kept going, and then eventually from Houston, Texas, Tennessee, Chicago, South Dakota. I was a machinist in South Dakota making hydraulic couplings
Uh-huh.
for Bobcat.
Okay.
And yeah, I learned how to be a machinist there, and just picked up a whole bunch. I was a drywaller for a couple of years.
No, I got a little of that on my resume.
Okay,
Long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's a great skill to have. You know, everybody puts dents in
So
walls. you
what
know?
drew you to Bellingham?
Originally, I have family members here. on my
Oh,
dad's
okay.
side.
Now that's making sense.
But I never really got to meet them as a kid.
Oh.
Yeah, so I saw it as an opportunity to come out to Pacific Northwest and also to kind of meet some family. You know?
Okay, well that's wonderful. You're 26. You lived all over the country so far.
Yeah, no, and it was just work. Work's taking me a whole bunch of different
Yeah,
places.
that's
So
cool.
now I'm doing framing full time. Best boss ever.
Cool.
Best boss ever.
So you're gonna drop anchor and stay here a while, I take it.
Potentially, yeah. You know. Now, to be honest, you know, the area makes it kind of, the housing market at least
Yeah.
makes it kind of, you know, tough for anybody my age, my generation at least, to kind of get their feet into the door.
Oh,
and that,
no
you know.
kidding. My daughter and her son and my son-in-law just moved to Nashville. They can't get any traction here.
It's so hard. We're with the deficit being about 6 million homes in the U.S.
Yes.
That just drives the rental market
Yeah.
through the roof.
Yeah.
And so we're staring down the barrel of a bottleneck. And to my generation, it's like, well, what's the problem? Why do we have to have 8 roommates in order to
Yeah, that's just crazy.
to
I hear
make
ya.
something work? You know?
Yeah.
And, yeah. No, that's the hard, difficult part about my generation and time. And
You're
era.
singing a song so many people your age are singing. I hear
and,
you.
And we don't know how to sing it any other
Yeah,
way.
you're right.
And it's hard.
What are you gonna do about it?
With,
Yeah.
With your guys' generation, you know, you guys had, you know, as tragic as it was, wars that drove your economy
Yeah.
forward,
Yeah.
leaps and bounds. You
Yeah.
know, manufacturing, all these things.
hmm We didn't have the corporate greed, that is present now.
I think within the past, you know, 100 years, within the last 20 technologically, the world's gotten so much smaller
Mhm.
because of globalization
Yeah.
and shipping. And, you know, you can go get something from Africa in 2 days. You
That's
know,
right.
Potentially.
Yeah.
And so now, you know, whoever had money back in 1950 and had their mindset and they were ahead of the game, you know, they made leaps and bounds way more.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. I agree with all you say.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to head down the road there and
Absolutely.
see who else is there.
Yeah.
James, it's been wonderful talking to you. You've
Yeah,
been
man.
quite articulate, and you're kind of a voice of your generation. You're singing the same thing. So, you have a great day.
Yeah, man, you too, dude. Absolutely.